What inspired you recently? Do you have some books that inspired you, movies, or something that gave you inspiration for your work or your private life as well?
So I think right now I've got 3 main books on my desk.
Okay.
One is improvisation and organization. So there's a bigger book about different topics that deals with improvisation and organizations. And then there are 2 other books. One is from Mark Ranko. It's about creativity. It's a big book. And he showed evidence-based what creativity is or is not, because people always think they know what creativity is. But there's a lot of research that you can use to understand it. And the 3rd book is from Keith Sawyers, and it's called Explaining Creativity. And so there are many aspects that I can combine, and they're just, again, different words like creativity, organization, or improvisation. But behind these concepts, there are the main questions, like how can we collaborate to achieve things that we want to achieve? And this is one inspiration that I have.
Can you explain to me what creativity is in 1 or 2 sentences?
No. Well, John Cleese once had a speech, and he said, it's very easy to talk about creativity. Talking about creativity is very easy. You can just use some studies and some definitions and so on. But that's not it. It's about being creative, or to create or even co-create something. So having said that, I would say creativity is creating or co-creating something that is interesting not only for you, but for the society as a whole. And we have to figure out as a society what it is that is really essential and necessary for us.
What's essential for you for being creative? What helps you?
So what I really like is the concept of emergence. So what I mean by that is that I just try out things without knowing what exactly I'm doing, and while doing, trying to understand what I did. For example, I often start writing anything. So I just open up Word and see what happens, and I write something. And after a while, it's like, oh yeah, now I understand what I thought could be interesting. Or if I play piano, I'm not really good in playing pieces that some other people wrote. I'm better, or I feel more comfortable, or it's more interesting for me, inspiring, that I just start with anything. So I just, start doing anything. And after a while, sometimes, there's some kind of melody that occurs. So I think I'm inspired by just doing anything and then trying to explain why this is happening and how I can use that for different parts of my daily life or business.
What's your biggest fear, and how do you dance with your biggest fear?
I think one of my fear is that these kind of combinations just don't work. So I was striving to have analogies, like I understand a pattern here and I use it here, and the fear is always like, it doesn't work. It's just different. Or I go to a company and say, hey, this is, I think, what you're looking for. And they say, what are you talking about? Like, no. Or I come from a company and say, oh, this is interesting for research. And other researchers say, nah, that's just different. So I think one of the fears, like, that it just doesn't fit together. And it helps also to understand, no, it just is very different. You can't connect it. How can I cope with this fear? I try it out. So I try to do things that are not really essential for my life. So I do not try to have the big thing, but I try little things. So in 1 week, I try this combination. In the next, I try this. So I go always like a sprint, step by step, trying things. And if I understand, like, oh, this doesn't work, I go more right, more left, more down, more up, more in the other direction. So it's always an iterative approach. And that helps me to make failure without being killed from the concept. So failing fast is one word in lean startup.
Yeah.
That you try your prototypes or little things, and if you fail, well, that's a week. But if it worked out, then I try another thing and another thing and another thing, and always searching for people, topics, organization that inspires me, and to build on that.
Is there a question that I forgot to ask you?
No.
Then, thanks for being here. And you, our dear listeners, you will find all the resources that we mentioned in the show notes or on strategysprints.com. If you want to help others find the show, leave a comment or a rating on iTunes or just share us on your social networks. Hope to see you next time.